because I know T. Lue more than any other player that's ever been with T. Lue, and I know he plays target ball too. And it got to a point where I knew in order for us to get back into the game, switching anybody else into Kawhi, it's not favorable for us. I might as well just get ready for the Wizards.
What's going on, y'all? Thanks for checking in with Callie. Please like, subscribe if you haven't. So, lately LeBron James has been on JJ Redick's podcast, and it's been making a lot of headway, of course, because it's LeBron, and definitely a lot of people want to hear what LeBron has to say. But in regards to LeBron talking about great players and a lot of things that basketball has going for itself and some of the things he likes and dislikes about basketball, he does speak on specifically Kawhi Leonard. And, in talking about Kawhi Leonard, he speaks about, as you heard, he spoke about the greatness of Kawhi Leonard and how, Kawhi is so dominant and he's such a great player. And, and hearing somebody like LeBron say things like this, even the Kawhi haters out there have to acknowledge, how great of a player Kawhi is, because everybody talks about LeBron and things like that. Everybody knows how great of a player he is because it's always predicated. And, a lot of people got him in the GOAT debate. But, to hear LeBron speak on a player dominant like Kawhi Leonard and how good he is in regards to speaking about, I have to make sure I switch on a player like this, because if not, as he said, we might as well move on to the next game, because some players are just so good and so dominant and so great that, they will keep it going the whole time if you don't make any type of adjustments. And LeBron, takes on the challenge of guarding Kawhi, and Kawhi has always taken on the challenge of guarding him. I've always loved their matchups, especially, in the NBA Finals, when Kawhi got the best of LeBron there specifically, and the Spurs won the finals. And I think overall, if we're going by, head-to-head matchups, Kawhi has got the head-to-head matchup over LeBron, by a milestone. It's probably, hypothetically, if they play like 20 times, I'm pretty sure Kawhi is like 14-6 against LeBron James. You've heard Kenny Smith and all them say Kawhi is the only player that's ever made LeBron look mortal in a lot of ways. You know what I'm saying? Not because he really can stop LeBron ultimately, because nobody can stop a great player. But if you could neutralize a great player at times enough to bother him and to give your chance to give your team the better chance to win by somewhat neutralizing the superstar of having him actually having an outstanding game rather than just a great game or a good game, that makes all the world difference, because nobody stops great players. It's just that, you can neutralize them at times, and that's about as far as you can go. And Kawhi has done a great job with that over, with LeBron over the years, and, vice versa. They don't play each other possession by possession, all game long, but when they do guard each other, it's definitely a mutual respect there, because they definitely have, gotten the best of each other in ways, in big moments and times in the game. The very last time, LeBron and the Lakers came back down from 21, as he spoke about. And, it was a big turning point of the game when LeBron kind of took over and things like that. But, before that, in Kawhi's defense, before this year, the Clippers beat the Lakers 11 straight times within the last 2 or 3 seasons prior to this season. So it's like they've dominated the Lakers for years since since Kawhi has been in Clipper land, even before that. But still, that's more or less the most recent in regards to their history between the Lakers and Clippers and where they both are now team-wise. But just listen to LeBron say that. It kind of piggybacks on, what Kawhi did somewhat in the 76ers game. And I say somewhat because Kawhi has had so many great moments as a player, because he's a great player, and he's turned on that switch many times in the playoffs, in big moments when we really, thought and wanted to see the best of Kawhi. He's really given it to us mainly in the playoffs, which is definitely when it counts the most. But back on the Philly game, when Kawhi actually down the stretch made the 2 crucial plays, the 2 and 1s, got the wedge block on Kelly Oubre. That just shows the heart of a champion. And, when you look at things like that, look at plays like that, it makes it all well-rounded when you talk about the greatness of a player like Kawhi Leonard. And it definitely gives you hope as a Clippers fan, knowing that, we got this guy on this team. And the fact that LeBron speaks on a player like this and has spoken on a player like Kawhi, even way before this JJ Redick podcast, spoken on the greatness of Kawhi many times before and loved playing against Kawhi and actually wanted to be his teammate. Because, I mean, Kawhi was supposed to go to the Lakers, right? Like 5 seasons ago. And the world got shook up because he ended up choosing the Clippers over the Lakers. But, LeBron actually was going to be a teammate of Kawhi Leonard. So, I mean, it just ultimately shows the respect he has for this guy. And the respect they have for each other is always good. I mean, I can remember early part of the season, I think the first game of the season, the Lakers played the Clippers and it went into overtime. And, Kawhi had 38 points and, the Lakers beat them by like 2 points, I think, in that game. And at the very end of the game, if you go back and notice, LeBron James just hugs Kawhi and has a smirk on his face, a laugh on his face, basically saying, hey, buddy, it's hard to beat you. You know what I'm saying? Like, just the respect level of these two players have always been there, because it's like LeBron knows that there's one player who does not fear him, that does not back down from him, that does not care about his title, his rank, or who he is as a basketball player or a basketball savant in some people's mind. It's Kawhi Leonard, because Kawhi has always attacked LeBron almost as if they're on the same level. And of course, if you look at, totality wise, they can't be on the same level. Just in regards to LeBron playing a lot longer. LeBron's been in the league since 2003. Kawhi's been in the league since 2011, 2012. So, I mean, it's like the time frame, the distance and the time put in, they can't be on the same level just really due to that. Now, as far as like ability in regards to dominating games, taking over games, being great players, they're on the same level there, of course. But I mean, just time wise, Kawhi hasn't been in the league long enough, as LeBron. He's not 39 years old either, and he doesn't have like 40,000 points. So, I mean, of course, a lot of people will say Kawhi's not on his level just because of, the eras they both came in and the differences when they both entered the league and things like that. But I mean, other than that, great player wise and all that, I think there's a lot of similarities there. And I just think that the biggest difference is, of course, LeBron is an all around guy who can do everything on the court, and Kawhi is just a killer. You know what I'm saying? He is just basically a product of Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan. Like, I mean, if Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan had a little brother or something like that, and their little brother will be Kawhi Leonard, basically. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's, he represents that era of basketball, those type guys. And even players like LeBron, JJ Redick, and many other great players who played and still are playing respect the fact of who Kawhi Leonard is and what he can do. And this is the reason why I would say, Clippers fans right now, things don't look the greatest with the Clippers, but at the same time, you got Kawhi Leonard. And as long as you got Kawhi Leonard, there's always a chance to win, no matter what situation you're going through. Because like I said, that Sixers game, I got to give some credit to Paul George. He kind of kept the game within reach a little bit with his 22 points. He caught a little fire going into the second half of that game. And then Kawhi basically, caught fire, or basically, caught his rhythm at the end to seal the deal. And the fact that he did it on both ends of the floor just shows what type of valuable player he is. He was struggling all that game, and the Clippers just kind of like managed to keep it somewhat, little bit close. They were down by 15. They cut it down, got it down really low, and then Kawhi goes in. Instead of taking jumpers and settling for jumpers, Kawhi goes in and take the more high percentage shots, get 2 and 1s, change the momentum of the game 100% completely, and then goes down and get the wedgie block on Kelly Oubre. And then, Kawhi and PG finish off Oubre once they get the tip. And that's the end of the game. The rest is history. So it just goes to show you the heart of a champion, the heart of a guy who plays with that type of determination and killer instinct can go a long way when you have somebody like that on your team. And when you have somebody like that on your team, if you don't make adjustments, if you don't try to, try to make the right type of adjustments, you can definitely move on to the next game or possibly go home if the series is about to be over with, because Kawhi is just that lethal of a player. And, Of course, there's times where, Kawhi, LeBron, anybody don't come through because nobody's perfect. And, that's just the way sports is. But I mean, 9 times out of 10, if you switch somebody on them, you're probably still not going to stop Kawhi Leonard. You're probably still not going to stop somebody like LeBron James, because when great players are in that zone, they're in that zone. There's nothing you can do to stop that. But hopefully, in the Clippers' favor, Kawhi will definitely come out in the playoffs and can't be stopped as usual, because usually he's just so consistent, so effortless. And that's the reason why when you look at that Philly game, it was kind of awkward to see him being 3 for 15 from the field. That's just so unlike Kawhi. But I mean, he gets a pass on games like that, of course, because it just does not happen often with him, because he's usually so consistent and so great to where we can always depend on what he gives and his points, consistently. And it's never really a doubt. So with that being said, listening to a player like LeBron speak on the greatness of Kawhi, it definitely gives, Clippers fans hope, even though they're not playing the greatest right now. If you have a player as great as him, I mean, you definitely have an opportunity to win at all costs, at all times. And I don't think we should, look away from that. I think we should embrace it, of course. And then I believe the Clippers will, find their stride a little bit. And let's just see what happens when they enter the playoffs.